This is Scott the Fix-It Guy. Our goal with our videos is to empower you to be able to do the repairs on your own and save a whole lot of money and also get that great feeling of having fixed it by yourself. Today we're going to be fixing an Affinity dryer door that's kind of loose. It's wobbling around, and that actually ended up breaking the latch here on the left side of your screen because it wasn't in the right position when it was closed with too much power. It actually drove the female side of the latch into the frame. So we have to correct a few things here to get this working. One is we're just going to try tightening these screws. They're just Phillips head screws, and you want to get them as tight as you possibly can to see if that's going to hold it tighter, or you may have to replace the hinge assembly. It's not too hard to do. So that did help, though. Tightening it up did make a difference. But we do have to replace this little piece that fits in here. And the frame got bent a little bit, so I'm going to use some needle nose pliers to kind of bend it nice and flat again. You can take this part and just push it in. It'll click into position and lock itself there. And then that's really done. That's probably going to fix your dryer door. If it still seems a bit loose, though, you may want to replace the hinge. This again is on an Affinity dryer, Frigidaire Affinity. So if you open it and then you wobble it back and forth and you still have some play in there, you can get rid of that. It's not totally necessary because you can still make it work. You can kind of lift the door up. But if you want to get rid of that play too, what you can do is just remove the door and replace it. While I have it open, I'm going to clean out some of the stuff that's on this tray where the filter goes in. You can use like a long screwdriver and just clean the lint off of that tray so that that filter will sit nice and flat. If it doesn't sit all the way down flat, it won't work as well, and it allows some of the lint to get into the cabinet, which you don't want. So you want to clean that off the best you can. It's kind of a neat tool, though, too, that it has a little arm that you can use to reach down below that and grab some of the lint that collects right next to the front of the blower wheel. And maybe every couple of months you could pull some of that lint out, and that just helps with better airflow, so your dryer will dry faster and also it will use less energy. You can also use like a straightened coat hanger too to get in there and pull some of that stuff out. But you can see how that little grabber works. It's pretty cool. Just reach in and grab that stuff and pull it out. We're going to do the hinge replacement here too to make that door a little bit better. So to remove it, you just got to remove those two Phillips head screws that are holding it in. Clean out a little bit more of that lint. I think I got this little tool at Amazon, but it's useful for getting into areas that you otherwise have trouble. If you don't have this tool, you have to do a little bit of disassembly to get into there. Clean all the lint off of the filter. And again, it should sit in there nice and flat. You may look at yours and find that it's raised up a bit, and that just means there's lint on that ledge. So we'll pull out those two Phillips head screws, and then to get the door off, we have to kind of lift the door up a little bit and then pull it towards you. And you can just set it on a suitable surface. I'm just going to use the floor. You want to remove all the Phillips head screws that are around the circumference, around the perimeter, so you can separate the two halves. Here's the new hinge. So you zip out all those screws. Try to get that thing to sit a little flatter. So once you get those screws out, you can use a standard head screwdriver to pry the two halves apart. Pull this metal part off, set it aside, and you can just lift the old hinge assembly straight up. And before you install the new one, you have to take the screws that went into the hinge, into the metal, and you have to drive them in a fair amount of force to create new thread holes, or new threads in the holes that the screws go into. So you want to do that actually before you install it. The way it's installed though is it just sits right down there. I'm going to put those threads in right now. So I take the existing screws that I took out initially, I'm going to put them in position and drive them in. And again, you have to use a fair amount of force to get this to go all the way in. It's just, there's 3 screw holes, but it's just the holes on the outside that you want to put those threads into. And then once you have those threads in position, you can just put the hinge back where we showed earlier, and then put the two halves together, add the screws back, and now we put the door back on by pushing it in, lifting it up a little bit, and letting it drop down into position. And then we'll add the 2 Phillips head screws. And you do want to get these pretty tight. You can actually put a little bit of Loctite on the threads that helps to hold them. So get them nice and tight, new latch, and new hinges, and that's great. So thanks so much for watching, and please subscribe when you get a chance. Thanks again. Thanks so much for watching our video. We really appreciate your support. And when you get a chance, please press the subscribe button below so you can be subscribed, and also the notification bell so we can send you more videos about appliance repair. Please also give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. If you really liked the video and it really helped you, please press this new applaud button and you can show your support and also get a nice clapping hands for your video. Thanks again.